Hey folks, Jack McNiel Jr. with the Kempner Church of Christ, and another little nugget of wisdom from the book of Proverbs. You know, it's interesting how Proverbs has so much wisdom for us, and really it's a very practical kind of wisdom in many ways. And so the proverb we're going to look at today is found in Proverbs chapter 12 and verse 10, where we read there, "A righteous man regardeth the life of his beast, but the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel." And so, I'm a pet owner. I have three cats and a dog currently, and in the past, I've had many other pets. I can remember growing up, I've had horses, and we've had cattle, chickens, we've had ducks. Even in my adult life, married, we had chickens and ducks, and let's see, I've had several dogs, lots of cats, a pet snake or two that ended up in the washing machine. Of course, that's not very good way to treat your pet snake. But my mom's favorite stories about me is finding what's left of a dead snake and floating in the washing machine because it was in the pocket of my pants. And so I love animals, and people think that's strange because I'm a hunter, and I kill animals, deer, turkey, quail, and dove, and I eat what I kill, and I'm always try to make sure that whatever I do when it comes to eating an animal, that I'm doing it or hunting and killing an animal, that I'm doing it in the most humane way possible, because all the things of creation are there for our use if we use them properly. You think about this proverb that we just read. The Israelite people, especially in the days of Solomon, in everyday walks of life, they had domesticated animals and livestock around them all the time. It was part of their life. They were an agrarian society. They grew crops, they raised sheep and goats and cattle, and so at some level, most Israelites had something to do with animal husbandry in their life. They kept cats and dogs to deal with various types of vermin, and maybe, like we do, they kept them as pets. The law of Moses really had several commandments regarding the proper treatment of their animals. But, with so many animals involved in their lives, there could be a tendency maybe toward neglect and mistreatment of animals, even cruelty. And so we have that proverb about how a righteous person takes care of their animals. You see, a righteous person who has taken responsibility for the life of an animal, a pet, be it a pet or a working animal of some sort, understands the needs and the proper care of those animals. One of the things that stands out about the Old West and the American cowboy was the way that he took care of his horse. You think they would spend the entire day in the saddle, and after a long, hard day in the saddle, they would return back to the ranch house or wherever, and back to the bunkhouse, and they would be tired and they would be hungry, looking forward to dinner and rest. Yet before they would do anything for themselves, they always took time to take care of their animals. They would unsaddle the horse and rub him down. They would groom him, and they would make sure it had food and water before he took care of his own needs, because his life and his livelihood depended upon the health of that horse. A good cowboy understood the needs of the horse, and he always carried essential horse health related gear. He knew how to treat it for common injuries. He carried extra shoes and could even shoe a horse on the range if the need arose. A cowboy who mistreated his horse, he would be shunned by most good men, and he would not last long as a cowboy. And so many people today have pets or have livestock, maybe not to the same extent that the Israelites did, but we still have those responsibilities. You think about it, in fact, keeping a pet is often a way we choose to teach our children to be responsible. And so when a righteous person accepts responsibility for the care and needs of an animal, he or she must do everything they can to see to the needs of that animal. Does God care about animals? Well, yes, He does. He, even as He cares about all of His creation. Does He care how we treat His creatures? He certainly does. We're to practice good stewardship toward all that God has given us. A righteous person is never cruel and never mistreats any of God's creations. In Psalm 50, verses 10 and 11, there we read, "For every beast of the forest is mine, and the cattle upon 1,000 hills. I know all the fowls of the mountains, and the wild beasts of the fields are mine." So they are God's creation. In Genesis chapter 1 and verse 26, there it says, "And God said, Let us make man in our image after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over everything that creepeth upon the earth." And so we're to have dominion upon all of these things, all of these animals. They are ours to take care of. They are ours. They're there for our benefit, but we are to take care of them in every way that we can. We ought to take care of the environment. We ought to be very conscious about how we go out in nature and what we leave behind. I'm not saying that, we ought to, be a bunch of dirt munching, tree hugging hippies, but we ought to at least take care of what is around us and what is our environment around us. And in Deuteronomy chapter 25 and verse 4, it says there, "Thou shalt not muzzle the ox when he treadeth out the corn." So again, the idea of making sure that the animal is being taken care of, has the proper food. As the animal is treading out the corn, he's going through the threshing process. If he bends down to eat some of that, let him eat it. And so, because he needs that nourishment, he is working towards our end. And then in Luke chapter 12, verses 6 and 7, here it simply says, "Are not 5 sparrows sold for 2 farthings, and not one of them is forgotten before the Lord? But even the very hairs of your head are numbered. Fear not, therefore, ye are of more value than many sparrows." And so, Jesus uses God's care for all the animals, all of nature, to show that if God cares for them and man is more and has dominion over those things, then certainly God cares for you and I more than he does for those animals. But that does not mean he does not care for those animals. We will be held accountable for the way we treat those around us, even those that are animals around us. If we mistreat them with cruelty, if we neglect their needs, those that we have the responsibility of providing for, then we are certainly in violation of God's law. And so we need to strive to be the best owners. And I like the word animal husbandry. And we need to practice that. Christians should take care of all of those things that they're responsible for, even their various animals and pets and whatnot. So hey, I hope this helps you and encourages you to practice good stewardship. Have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye.